Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another episode of the Football Stooges coming at you today. We're starting to, honestly, I think this is probably the driest episode we're going to have, but we're still going to make it as best of the content we can. The XFL has concluded. It's the USFL season, and it seems like there's a lot less support for it this year, at least from us, and honestly from a lot of the media sources I've seen, so it's interesting. Hopefully this doesn't continue. I like seeing a couple different football leagues, but we'll see how it goes. We got some NFL news to talk about. We found a better site for the box score of the USFL source. We'll be able to get into that a little bit more heavily. And as always, we will be as stupid as possible. Anyway, without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce the other Stooges, starting with the man who still has not missed a Football Stooges episode. It's the one and only Mastodon.
I may be tired for being out 24 hours this past from yesterday to this morning, but I made it.
Yay!
God damn! Sounds so tired.
Dude,
Those Yinglings are not going down your throat.
He might pass out if he has one Yingling. He just might crump over and die.
Yeah, I'm going to Raleigh tomorrow for a mini vacation, so
Fun. Next up, the one and only man who forgot we even had a podcast today, and I had to call him personally, Mamba.
Hey, I was packing for Indy 500, right? I'm not going to be here.
I did not take you for a NASCAR guy. I really didn't.
That's not even NASCAR. It's IndyCar, you dingus.
It's Formula One, yeah.
That's not even Formula One.
Yeah, it's
It's
the same car. Go fast.
It's not
vroom,
the same
vroom.
Car
car.
go fast, vroom, vroom, Mamba. Who cares?
All right, you can suck my balls, okay?
And a man who has, somehow prevented one of his favorite teams from not choking thus far. It's Hayduff.
Where the hell was that the first 3 games, Celtics? What
Yeah.
the fuck?
They are currently at, right now as we're talking, they're up in game
They just won.
5.
They just won?
They just won?
They just won. It's
Bro,
final.
NBA's
Celtics
rigged,
were
okay?
15,
We
yeah.
all know it's rigged.
If it was rigged, it would be Lakers Celtics.
Yep, final 110-97.
No, it wouldn't.
All right.
Yeah, it would.
Yes,
Why
it
would it
would,
be?
because
It would be the battle for the
LeBron.
18. LeBron,
Yeah.
the Celtics, Lakers, Celtics, battle for 18 championships on the line right there. The Lakers are a playing team. The Celtics were a high seed.
Denver Nuggets never got that script.
It's like Toronto trying to say that the NHL's rigged. It's like,
Nah,
bro,
they're rigging it for Stan Kroenke. That way he can have like fucking 4
If
different
it really
different
was
sports he
rigged,
owns.
Gary Bettman would just let the Phoenix Coyotes win. He loves his American teams. He loves them.
Yeah.
Loves them way too much.
Why Toronto hasn't won since the 50s.
I think Toronto's actually won basketball championships sooner than they've won.
Yeah, the Raptors.
Yeah, NHL, the Raptors, they won it a couple years back. So yeah, fuck you, Toronto. But anyway, we'll start with some NFL news. One of the things I saw recently that I think we'll start out talking about is DeAndre Hopkins has still not been traded after even asking for a trade from the Cardinals. And he actually released a list of a couple people that he wanted to play for as far as quarterbacks, including names like it was 5 of them, including names like Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts. So it looks like he wants to go to a well-balanced team in order to win a Super Bowl ring. What do you guys think is the best fit, both for a trade as well as offensively fit for DeAndre Hopkins?
Well, out of the team names he's listed, that listen for like the guys he wants to play for, like Patrick Mahomes, Chiefs, Jalen Hurts, Eagles, Josh Allen, Bills. Most of the teams he wants to play for are already preloaded on wide receiver, especially with like the Eagles. Like maybe the Chiefs would probably be the best fit for them. I don't think they have the cap space to do it right now. What I would have loved is if the Patriots did him, but we still have Mac Jones and went for Juju instead. So that's what happened.
Yeah, I don't think the Chiefs have the cap space necessarily to do it, or really anything to return to the Cardinals.
You know where he could go? He could go to the Chicago Bears. Okay?
No.
we got the money, we got the quarterback.
Yeah. If he goes to Chicago, you guys are going to sign him for like the biggest deal in NFL history. He's going to take all your money.
Get rid of Claypool and we're good.
I told you he sucks.
Yeah.
I told you.
Get rid of N'Keal Harry while you're at it.
Fair.
I think the best fit for him is the Bills. The Bills have a number
they
one.
have good wide receivers already.
K-Duff's like as a Patriots fan. Please.
I already have Aaron Rodgers and Tyreek Hill in the decision. I do not need another
well
in there.
They have their best receivers, Stephon Diggs, and then their second best is Gabe Davis. After that, they really don't have any above average
no.
talents at wide receiver. But they also have Dawson Knox, and they drafted a tight end in the draft pretty
Dalton
high.
Kincaid, yeah.
Yeah. So Kincaid is a really good dual threat. They might use him more of as a pass blocker, which hopefully they don't, because that would be a waste of his offensive talents. So I don't know what exactly they're going to pursue as
Also,
far
there's more
as
problems. There's more problems on the Bills, like in different positions than wide receiver. Really,
Yeah.
yeah. Their offensive line has started to look a little bit worse and worse, and then their defense. I mean, they're going to get Von Miller back, which is great, but at the same time, a lot of NFL teams have two really good receivers, and not that Gabe Davis is bad, but he's up and down. He's very streaky. Some games he's great, other games
he's definitely a very iffy wide receiver too for compared to like most other wide receiver twos on other
I mean,
teams.
the Bengals have a better wide receiver room because they have more depth. I think if the Bills were to add DeAndre Hopkins, they would be equivalent or even better, because I feel like then they have two elite receivers. T. Higgins is still a borderline elite, even as a Bengals fan. I know he's very good, but sometimes he still does struggle with some route running because he's a big guy. But obviously we have Jamar Chase. But I mean, I think Stephon Diggs, DeAndre Hopkins, and Gabe Davis, along with a Kincaid and Knox, nightmares. Especially with Josh Allen slinging the ball to him. I think that's the best fit. The question is, how are they going to get that? And I think the answer is...
about that because I already said that.
The answer is probably somebody that some young players they can send over. Honestly, Kincaid was kind of a head scratcher pick for me. So, do you send Dawson Knox? Do you even send Kincaid over, and then you send picks?
That'd be a waste of draft capital if they send a guy they literally drafted 1 year ago. Like, makes sense with some people, like the Josh Rosen or Isaiah Simmonses of.
Well, you have a star tight end in Dawson Knox and a really good prospect in Kincaid. So if you want to win now, you don't care about the future. Get rid of Kincaid. He's a great capital that could the Cardinals would be like, we get a rookie who is a really high draft pick at tight end who we kind of need because they have a guy that's Ertz is getting old and probably not going to be ready for this rebuild we're about to go through. Then we also get picks from him. That works for the Cardinals, and that also works for the Bills. There's also then the numbers in the salary cap, which you'll have to work out, but honestly, GMs have a PhD in that, especially the Eagles, because they managed to sign like 7 All-Stars, Michael Jordan, and fucking Eric Cartman all in one deal and work the money out. So, you guys, I'm going home.
Well, one thing I was thinking, if the Seahawks get DeAndre Hopkins.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
That would be but the issue with Seahawks is, can you rely on what's his name? Geno Smith for the future?
Well, he is getting older, so I mean, maybe they see what Drew Lock has.
He did just have his best season, so if he gets better, I mean, that's great. Talk about a loaded wide receiver room. That puts DeAndre Hopkins at 1-2 with DK Metcalf, and then Tyler Lockett's still there, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I think he's got one more go around, and then he might.
Not to mention, you have one of the best rookie running backs from last year, Kenneth Walker III, in the backfield. You just drafted some good linemen, some good defense. That could be pretty scary if the Seahawks.
Also, just added Jackson Smith and Jigba in the draft too.
That is the biggest issue I think with that is you would. With 4 receivers all starter level in the NFL, someone would get buried.
Right. Someone's definitely getting shoved down the depth chart and maybe traded before the deadline.
That's probably going to end up being Lockett because Smith and Jigba has the opportunity to be an all-star. DK Metcalf is the strongest wide receiver prospect we've seen in the history of the league. Then you add DeAndre Hopkins, who's just flat out phenomenal. There's no spot for a older and still decently good. Why did I just forget his name? I just said it. Oh my god, Lockett! Wow, I just brain turned off.
Had that happen before.
Yeah, I thought I'm the one that's tired.
Yeah. So I mean, that could work with the Seahawks. Honestly, This sounds odd. If they can do it cap-wise, the Niners.
Ooh.
They don't have many passing options outside of Ayuk, who's pretty good, but still struggles because he's not super tall. And then Deebo Samuel, who they are running like crazy. He's running the ball. He's catching the ball. Obviously, now Christian McCaffrey, he's catching more than he's running, but he does a ton of screens. It would be great for them to actually have a deep threat that's not just fast, because Ayuk is a deep threat, but he's a deep threat because he just turns on the burners like Tyreek Hill. You want a deep threat that can, like Terrell Owens or Randy Moss, somebody where you just throw it up there like it's a lob to Blake Griffin in 2014. So
we also got a couple options on tight end. I mean, they still got Kittle. They just drafted Cameron Latu out of Alabama. So those are also a couple other options as well.
And also, he wants to win a ring, so he wants a full team. See,
Exactly.
San Francisco has an amazing defense.
They do. Yep. Very nice.
Yeah. So there's a lot of options there.
San Francisco does not have a lot of money.
Yeah. They're going to have to probably offload somebody that is taking up a lot of their money. But at the same time, if they really like Brock Purdy and they already got a backup quarterback in Sam Darnold.
I forgot Sam Darnold's on that team.
I don't know. Would you as the Cardinals think about moving on from temper toddler tantrum Kyler Murray and going with Trey Lance? Trey Lance for DeAndre Hopkins trade.
I don't
hate that.
Because then you could trade Kyler Murray to a team that really needs a quarterback that doesn't have one. Because he's still young. He's coming off an ACL injury. You could still get some capital for him.
Yeah,
I guess the question is San Fran willing to deal with someone who has a temper tantrum and also plays Call of Duty a lot?
It's also a bit of a... It's also going to be like a case
San Francisco... Whoa, Mamba. San Francisco wouldn't be trading for Murray.
Wait, what did you say?
Hopkins for Trey Lance.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Got it.
I'm talking about Trey Lance is coming in to Arizona.
Sorry.
And it would be actually... They could keep both quarterbacks on the payroll for a little bit, and then they could see what Trey Lance does. And if they like what Trey Lance does, and they think he's playing well, they could then go to Kyler Murray and say, sorry, we're shipping you to... Who needs a quarterback right now?
Well, I mean, Arizona. LA.
The Rams. Ship them to the Rams. Yeah.
So they got Stafford...
Ship them to one of Europeans' new NFL teams. Or Mexico City.
The Buccaneers are doing a rebuild. You could ship them to the Buccaneers for one of their veterans. The Buccaneers are still full of the Tom Brady veterans.
Baker Mayfield or Kyle Trask?
No, I mean, you ship... So, in this situation, you would, as the San Francisco GM, you're saying, I want another option. Brock Purdy's the future. He looked amazing. He's the story everybody loves. We're going with him. We're locking it in. Get Trey Lance out of here so we can get something for him. Because he's a young rookie quarterback that still looks great. Why? At some point, San Francisco needs to pull the trigger and say, this person is quarterback. Because your team needs to be able to rally around a person. I get injuries happen, I guess that happens, but you need to declare this is the alpha dog in the room. You need to listen to him, and there's not going to be another dog that comes in 3 weeks later and is like, okay, I'm in charge now. It needs to be a locker room where there is a defined leader, a defined person taking charge and leading a team to victory, and not multiple sources.
Agreed. Like, first off, Sam Darnold is definitely out of the question. We're all in agreement on that. But my main problem is what happened with Purdy last year, a flash in the pan moment. Like, because we've seen this a lot in the league where you bring this backup QB.
You've seen a guy, the final pick in the draft, lead a team as a third string quarterback to a Western Conference final, to the NFC Championship, and then only lose it because his weenus was torn off his elbow.
Well, I'm not the last guy, but I've seen a dude we drafted at 198 win 6 Super Bowls. So I'm just saying.
Right, that's not a flash.
What other team's going to have that kind of success though? Like, they're going to back up.
Brock Purdy,
I don't hate Brock Purdy. But it also that success could have been contributed to the massive amount of offensive weapons that they also had last year.
True,
and that also defense.
Again, the Ravens won a Super Bowl with Trent fucking Dilfer.
True,
all because of defense.
Exactly. So I don't
Or the
care
Bucks won
if
it
it's
once.
Brock Purdy, a mile 30. Fuck it. Whoever gets the job done and wins you a Super Bowl, it could be my aging grandmother. If you win a Super Bowl, who the fuck cares?
I pay for see Grandma Lob try to throw a pass.
Yeah. My sweet old grandma from Kentucky. I would not want to see. I would not want to see Fletcher Cox hit her at 100 miles an hour.
I need to check. When did they say Brock Purdy be back after his surgery? When is the earliest?
He's definitely going to be back by training camp, I think.
Okay.
Because I've actually got a bit of an injury list going on now. We got our first injury update for this year.
Aaron Rodgers.
Well, that's the first one. And he suffered a cane strap. He suffered a cane strap. Calf strain. I can't fucking talk.
Came strapped. He came strapped.
Yeah.
Are you guys the one that's tired, or am I hearing shit?
Let's see. Rodgers suffered a calf strain during the Jets OTAs. He should be okay. It doesn't look serious. What does look a little bit serious, though, another Rodgers, Armani Rodgers, tight end for the Commanders, out for the season with a non-contact Achilles injury.
Ooh.
So that's already a big loss for Washington right out the gate. Seahawks cornerback Tariq Woolen also had an injury at their team's OTAs that required arthroscopic knee surgery. He's going to be back in time for training camp, so it's not super serious. And someone who didn't even attend OTAs, Raiders quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo is also not attending as he's recovering from foot surgery in March that went underreported. So
he's needed that for a while. That was why he was out for the Niners for a while.
Yeah.
I don't know why he got that sooner, but
yeah. I had knee surgery a couple times the past few months too, so I know how it's like you need to come back from.
Oh yeah.
Going back to the Brock Purdy situation, I think again the Niners just need to pull the trigger, stay with Brock Purdy. That will allow them to offload Trey Lance, and they could get something for him. In this case, DeAndre Hopkins, which would be a great trade if they can pull it off.
Holy shit, Dallas.
Make the money work. What happened?
What is Dallas doing now?
What happened?
They just won the overtime game, so it's 3-1.
Texas hockey lives. Let's go.
An all South Stanley Cup final. That'll be crazy.
Yeah, Miami. Fucking the Panthers. Where the fuck did that come from?
I don't even fucking know. Sweeping the goddamn Hurricanes. All teams.
Nice.
First round.
Anyway, but I think if Trey Lance is traded, let's say he's traded to Arizona, that would give a good option for Arizona because Kyler Murray's out. Then you get to really, really test Trey Lance because he has not been tested at all thus far. 2 years ago, he was drafted. Nothing happened. He wasn't able to play that much because he was behind Garoppolo. Then the next year, he gets to start, plays some, then gets hurt. Then we see Garoppolo go back in. Garoppolo gets hurt. And then all of a sudden, Brock Purdy comes in. Brock Purdy looks amazing. So again, Trey Lance hasn't had a ton of time to do much of anything, which kind of sucks for him. So maybe he gets a new opportunity to do that in the Cardinals, which would be an interesting situation because he's not going to have many options to go with in the Cardinals. So you'll see how good he is truly, kind of like Justin Fields. We'll see how we saw how good Justin Fields really is by himself because he was able to lead a Chicago Bears team to only lose by 14 instead of 45 because he was able to run for 180 yards in one play and only gained 10.
Putrid offensive line.
Oh my god, that
you're still going to lose the division this year.
That offensive line. That was like trying to spoon water with a fucking
He only
cheese grater.
could scramble the whole time. That's all he could do.
Yeah.
There's someone I know. It's like, why don't you throw it away? It's like that's not how the NFL
There's no time.
It's funny because I think they were playing him more as a pocket passer, and then they realized their line was shit. So once they played the Patriots,
no,
and basically
they played him like
the Patriots. They
played him like a pocket passer when it was Matt Nagy was the coach.
No, but even early on, early on from last season, they weren't like running him that much.
That game is also because we were playing quarterback carousel with we brought back Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi, who went from flash to the pan to dog shit.
And everyone's like, Bailey Zappi is like everyone's fucking shouting for Zappi's name.
Yeah, they're blaming Mac Jones for sucking when it's Matt Patricia making the play calls. Also, have fun dealing with that, Maston.
Hey, if he's just an analyst and doesn't do jack shit, I'll deal with that.
That's pretty funny though. Yeah.
So I mean, DeAndre Hopkins could go a lot of places. I don't think the Eagles are a good fit. I don't think the Kansas City Chiefs have enough money, but they might pull it off. And if they do, that's scary as hell. I'm surprised he didn't also just say the Bengals because there's not really any room for him in some of the places he mentioned. Why not, have Joe Burrow throwing you the ball? But honestly,
Yeah, I don't know why
even though I'm biased as a Bengals fan, I feel like the Bengals still have the deepest wide receiver room in the league.
I'll be scared
It
if
is
he goes
pretty
to
deep.
Dallas.
Why would
Dallas
they
doesn't need anything.
Dak
Dallas
Prescott?
needs nothing. Fuck the Cowboys.
I mean, Jerry Jones will try something.
Horrible defense. Dak Prescott at quarterback. Injured Tony Pollard at the first string running back. No. Dallas is starting. I think Dallas peaked last year, and I think they're going to decline now.
Yeah,
Jerry Jones is probably like, I need me a white quarterback this time
No,
around.
he's in the Iserman phase of his life where he's like, I sense my time coming to an end. I need to put everything into a push for a championship right now. So
Max Duggan would have been a good draft pick for them, I feel like. Kid out of TCU, good quarterback, nearly won the Heisman.
Who do you go to again? The Chargers, I think?
Chargers took 3 guys at TCU. The offensive lineman, Max Duggan, and then also the
Quentin Johnston.
Yeah. Wide receiver. Real tall wide receiver with dreads. He could be pretty good if he develops well.
Yeah. He was
issue with his hands.
There was argument he would have been the first wide receiver off the board if it weren't for Rises and Smith and Jigba or other guys like that.
Other news we'll quickly talk about. The Washington Commanders have been turned down. The trademark on their name, the Washington Commanders, for I believe a 3rd time now. They've been turned down for the trademark.
Yep. It's apparently the actual trademark holders for a college bowl game that takes place in the DC area every year between the Air Force and Army. It's like the Commander Bowl or something like that. Yeah, I haven't heard of it before either. So I'm like, where the hell has this been?
Yeah. So they have lost that. So they actually now are considering another rebrand.
Oh, Commander-in-Chief. There's a Commander-in-Chief trophy.
Kidding me.
Nope. Yeah,
The Commander-in-Chief trophy is between Air Force, Navy, and Army, and it how it goes, who has the best record.
And they didn't think of this when they chose the Commanders?
It's fucking Washington Commanders and Dan Snyder. No, the fuck they didn't think about it. You know who you're talking about?
This is a man that wanted to roll for multiple years with Washington football team.
This is a man who took the media out, or the media organizer from his own organization, and told him to create a compilation of his cheerleaders dancing and title it Only the Best Parts and send it to him. Yeah. That's who you're talking about, Dan Snyder.
That's crazy.
That's just a fraction of the shit he's done for people that don't know.
We've gone through the shit that he's done.
And
you don't want to go through it again.
You wonder why he's selling the team now.
This man is so notoriously bad. He got made fun of on South Park. You know how fucked up you got to be? They made fun of Barbra Streisand, Al Gore, and now Dan Snyder. Okay, that's how fucked up you got to be. That is a trio of shit. So
also bad. Kanye West.
And I'm a big. Do you like fish sticks? Yeah, you're a gay fish. What the hell did that mean?
Fucking murders Carlos Mencia over it. What else happened?
The rebrands. What do you guys think would be a good rebrand for the Commanders? They are going to move to Virginia. So I think a cool thing to do is scratch the Washington name. I think Virginia needs a name. I think
Virginia.
They are moving to Arlington, Virginia, which is a suburb-ish of Washington, D.C.
Wait, it's
very, very close.
Well, it's kind of like the Jets and Giants don't play in New York. Don't they both play in Jersey now?
They always played in Jersey.
Yeah.
They just call it New York because the fucking New Yorkers want to take all this shit.
Yeah, if we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of it, you'd have teams like the Santa Clara 49ers or the Foxborough Patriots. It's not always, it's going to be more the area.
Not Cincinnati. We play in the city. Let's fucking
yeah. But where was it confirmed that they're going to Virginia? The fuck?
They have talked and bought area, and they're planning a new stadium for it. So it's in the future. It's not going to happen now. But I would still love to see a Major 4 North American sport to have a Virginia team because none of them have it. There are no NHL teams, no NBA teams, no NFL teams, and no MLB teams that have Virginia as their home state area, whatever.
I will be
And
serious. I will be
What about
serious.
the
in this.
National? No, like the Nationals play in
where
the
you gonna
city
put
in
it?
DC. So
They-
they're called the
but-
Washington Nationals, like the Washington Capitals,
they're
the
called
Washington Wizards. Boom, boom, boom. No Virginia in that.
yeah, you're right. You're right.
But where are you gonna put? Well, besides the Arlington, but what? There's no space to put the NHL like stadium or.
Well, no,
NBA,
I get that, but I at least one. You know, at least one.
Which are probably Arlington probably be the
Right.
best.
So
spot
they could be
for-
called the
Yeah.
but like, what are we thinking of names here? You know,
I still think
Virginia
Redhawks for the fans.
Red Hawks. I think that'd be a good one.
Red Hogs.
Hogs.
Hogs, Red Hawks, Virginia
Yeah.
Red Hawks.
Yeah, for the fans.
Yeah, that'd be great. I think also the first battle between armored ironclads in the American Civil War was off the coast of Virginia. So you could call
You're
them
right.
the,
Yeah.
the Virginian ironclads.
I feel like the Steelers would get up in arms, like, "Oh, that's too close to steel because it has
No.
iron in it."
I think like Virginia Volunteers, I feel like would be cool. It's a V and a V, but then the University of Tennessee would lose their fucking
Yeah,
mind.
they will.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't do that.
I mean, Louisville has the Cardinals, and Arizona hasn't gotten up in arms about it. So
I
Well, there's
mean,
3 teams with named
yeah,
Cardinals.
I mean, Cardinals and Ravens are different enough. Same with Eagles. There's a different separation of it. If you were to do like the Lions and the Mountain Lions, issue. If you do the Lions and the Bengals, not an issue. There's enough difference, you know. So
also because Bengals are tigers, not lions. So
right, but they're both felines. You go to biology class. Do you have those in fucking? There's nothing lives in Boston anyway. It's all just smog and angry people that want to pock the god, hobbit yard.
No,
Awful
that's,
Boston.
Go down to the
that's
garden. We're gonna watch
California.
Larry Bird. You
No,
know,
California is
He-
just basically
kill the
small.
Lakers.
I don't even know where to start with how bad that fucking accent was.
Kana. Where's Kana? Was he talking to Kana?
So anyway, other news in the NFL that went on.
That Thursday night fucking flex shit.
Yeah, the Thursday night
Mhm.
games got flexed onto Amazon Prime.
Oh,
so
well, one other thing. But sorry, we'll go back to Thursday night in 1 second.
Oh, wait,
do you
say that
think?
again, because I
Do you
heard-
think the
oh, go,
Commanders? Do you think the Commanders should change their color scheme? Because I'm on that boat. Because I think their color scheme has only gotten worse year after year.
Go
I
with the
guess,
original
probably.
red and yellow. Just do with that.
That like poo tinted maroon and bland
Like-
yellow, and they don't put any accent of black or gray or white on it. It just looks like shit.
The best way I've described that color scheme is bloody feces. It just looks
Yeah.
awful.
Explosive diarrhea.
Yeah. I think they need to change their color scheme. I don't know what they would change it to. I feel like if they do the Hogs, pink is in it at some degree. I don't know how you do that.
What if they did what the Flyers did and just make a slightly different shade of
My
red?
God. Fucking. Oh, God damn it. Fucking. Oh, God. That was.
He was trying to forget it. He was trying to forget it,
Yeah.
but now he can't.
Thank you. Oh, that was from a Your Name Tree video. God fucking damn it.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a
I
lot
don't even
of
know what else from the
options.
U-Tree thing. I just saw it somewhere else.
Oh.
All right. So as you said, KDF, Thursday night games.
Yeah, Thursday night games are being flexed, and they're going to be aired on Amazon Prime this year. Starting this year.
Was
Any
that
thoughts
the
on that?
same thing as last year?
No, they had a
Well,
preset.
Not the
No.
flex. Yeah.
What it
not
was
the
is
flex.
that a flex is the decision the NFL can make, along with the cable company, in this case Amazon, that they can take a game and a matchup they don't like as much and substitute for a different matchup that they would like. The only issue this is Thursday night football, and that's a
Yeah.
quick week.
Yeah.
Usually
Yeah.
it happens near the end of the season for like the last 2 games because it's like, okay, here's playoff pushes or division matter
Oh,
matches.
yeah. More implications, you know.
Yeah. But Thursday
Honestly,
night football.
I hope it's more of, you know, we learned our lesson from last year and we don't really want, you know, mid-season this guy to, you know, be there and, you know, our viewership goes down by, you know, 7 billion people.
Or just not have Thursday night football because it's a stain on the whole game.
I'm okay with that.
I do like the Thursday night games,
like,
but from an athlete perspective, I cannot imagine dealing with that.
It sucks.
Oh, absolutely. It definitely has
almost
to.
every
It's
game
maybe a
put on
3-day turnaround. That's all.
Yeah.
The players hate it. The fans hate it. Why is it still in the league?
Let's do Thursday night football in Germany.
Yeah, so that's even shorter week because like you've got the 3 days you need to like rest up and practice. Then and now you cut that down to maybe 2 because of travel time and getting used to the practice in whatever field you're gonna be playing in Germany or abroad in London because there's gonna be some games in London too this week.
Honestly, they should organize it so that only the Thursday night games only happen after bye weeks. So if your team gets a bye week, they're playing in Thursday night after that. Because that would work better that way.
That would be fair. I would honestly prefer that if
something like that. I can understand the Thanksgiving. I can understand the Thanksgiving games because that's just been a thing for so long. It's like
Okay. Yeah, I don't know how much I like the flexing rule. It's tough on the players, so we'll see how it goes.
Apparently, they said it has to be 20. Apparently, they said it has to be 28 days before the game to choose.
That kind of makes me feels like it's a late season thing or we don't want to see Russell Wilson play in prime time when his team's 0-17. So
yeah,
which week did it start the flexing?
All right. Any other big NFL news out of the league there, K-Duff?
Yeah, there's a few things actually. The day after we wrapped our last podcast, we had very unfortunate news that NFL Hall of Fame running back and civil rights activist Jim Brown passed away at the age of 87. That's a big loss to the football world. One of the first big players in the NFL.
Honestly, probably one of the most influential Americans in the 1900s. Honestly.
Certainly, yeah. One of the first players to break the color barrier in the NFL too. That was a big thing.
And break noses too. That man.
Oh yeah,
that man ran through a motherfucker face for real.
Yeah. He's the running back like every guy in the league now looks up to as I feel like everyone in the league just felt this loss even more than Cleveland, who he played for. So
yeah.
In later news, we have some other announcements in the league. Super Bowl 60, this year's Super Bowl, 60th anniversary is going to be taking place in the 49ers home at Levi Stadium. So 49ers fans don't have to travel far if they win tickets to the big game this year. And in 2025, Green Bay fans, you can watch your team fuck up the draft live because 2025 NFL draft is being held at Lambeau Field.
That's going to be
not Lambeau Field. Someone's house near Lambeau Field.
That's the funniest thing is when I see pictures of Lambeau Field, it's like there's literally just a townhouse and rows of them just outside the stadium. I'm like, if you were to sell one of those houses, man, that's like a house.
They're very expensive there.
Oh yeah, that is like a house, like a residential house north of New York
City.
Money
for parking there too.
The only other thing I've seen have you guys seen the old stadium that the University of Hawaii used to play at? It's like a huge ass rusting piece of shit.
Yeah, it's old.
Sit in the middle of like a Honolulu suburb, and that makes sense because it's on an island in Hawaii, very tiny state in the islands. But you've got all of Wisconsin to deal with Lambeau Field, and you've got this big ass.
Honestly,
I know it's gonna be a drunk fest over there.
I still want Hawaii to play Navy every year outside of Pearl Harbor on fucking like the tip ends of aircraft carriers, and they build a field on top of them.
Oh, that would be really
not
cool,
enough.
That'd be wild. I don't think it's big enough.
Won't be enough. The aircraft carriers is not that big.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It's impossible to do unless we made like an aircraft carrier that's even bigger than the ones that already exist, and those are fuck off massive.
We pull the Yamamoto out of the ocean, rebuild it, and then flatten the top bridge and turn it into a mobile football field.
They've done it.
You know how much of a flex that would be to Japan? Not only did we sink the biggest ship ever created in human history twice with planes, we pulled that shit out of the water and we turned it into a sport arena. It wasn't enough to nuke you twice. We had to embarrass you with a ship.
Lob L plus ratioing the Japanese 70 years after
That's like
World War II.
like America didn't lose in Afghanistan because there's stories coming out nowadays that like the people that used to be the Taliban freedom fighters hate their 9-to-5 job and they can't stand it anymore. They want to go back to like fighting insurgency. Like
That's nuts.
Like we didn't lose in Vietnam. You go to Vietnam, you know what's in Vietnam? McDonald's. We won that shit. I don't want to hear it.
There's something in my Facebook reels earlier today about like there's a fucking Dunkin' Donuts on the DMZ in North Korea.
Exactly.
The most dangerous place to get fucking Dunkin's coffee in the world.
I need a button on my soundboard that's like an eagle streak.
More so than Fenway after a Red Sox loss. North Korea is the most dangerous place to get a fucking Dunkin's coffee.
No, okay, watch it. This guy does YouTube shorts called Habitual Line Crosser. He's fucking funny.
Going back to the Vietnam thing, one of my favorite jokes from like a Soviet womble. Someone's like screaming like, "America never loses a war."
Oh my god!
What's Saigon called right now?
Yeah.
What is the city of Saigon called right now?
Ho Chi Minh. Oh Lord.
Ho Chi Minh.
So yeah. What are we talking about?
We went to that for nothing reason.
What are we talking about?
Football. Raiders stuff. For Raiders fans.
God.
You have a new minority owner. As if you weren't getting the Patriots alive enough, Tom Brady is now a minority owner of the Las Vegas Raiders. It is not. I don't think it's been announced like what the details of that are, but it's official apparently as of this week.
I can't wait for all the tough roll questions.
So instead of playing for the Raiders, he just puts a minority stake in it, and then puts
I am still under the impression that Tom Brady wanted to play, but since he got divorced and his wife was keeping her house in Florida because she was cheating on him the whole time with that one UFC fighter or trainer, whatever. So he was either going to have to choose go play football out on the West Coast or stay here and still, be able to see his kids.
I choose you, football. Fuck my family.
No, when he chose his family, which is the right thing to do and a shitty thing by Giselle, in my opinion. I don't understand it, man. Like, maybe it's because I don't have the female mindset, but like, why would you cheat on your husband, who is the most successful and probably richest football player to ever touch Earth?
Because apparently she makes more money.
Yeah, I thought she made more money than him.
But I think that is true, yeah.
Like, if you divorce him and cheat on him and you get found out, you're not going to be getting his salary as well as yours because it's just more money. Why not more? Like, there's so many reasons morally, financially, physically, family-oriented. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Why?
Would have Brady from the divorce gotten more of Giselle's money because she makes more money?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Was there a prenup signed? We're getting into fucking insane details here.
Yeah, we're getting into like personal stuff and drama too, which I was never even a fan of outside of anything involving celebrities.
Or suddenly now, the show The View.
Oh, and
no one.
I heard of it, never watched it.
I've been seeing rumors that I can't believe this, and if it's true, Tom Brady is the GOAT. Even more so than he is now. Kim Kardashian is looking for a house to buy near Tom Brady. If Tom Brady somehow becomes entangled with the Kardashians, if he even marries Kim Kardashian, what kind of fucking crossover episode are we in?
I've got no words for that. That's just
Kardashians have been with NBA players like Lamar Odom and Chris Humphries, and all of a sudden Kanye West, and now you turn in it's fucking Tom Brady. What's next? Michael Jordan?
I'm legit speechless about that. Actually,
I just have no idea what you're talking about.
I have no idea where
there are rumors going around that Tom Brady and Kim Kardashian have started to date.
Jesus,
which is like. I don't do any of the keeping up with the Kardashians, that shit, but like, What the fuck?
Yeah, he's
Well,
the
you thought about that. I got
dude. If that happens, he's like the stepdad to Kanye West's baby. What is that?
He's gonna be throwing a hot dog down a hallway, down a cave.
Jesus. I
Caleb
I'm just
does
speechless.
not know.
I don't even know where to begin with that. That's just weird to me. Sounds weird to me. Like, yeah, he's dated the supermodel. Yeah, he's dated other celebrities before. Like, one of the biggest ones that I'm from, like, that gender. That's crazy.
Oh shit, my bad.
Anyway,
All right, more NFL news.
Oh,
yeah.
God, deal with
Also,
the-
more
every five
drama on
hours.
the Devontae Adams front with the Raiders. He apparently comes out. He does not see eye to eye with the front office on their vision for the offensive season, which apparently
Who
involves
would have guessed?
playoff push amid their very close to starting a rebuild. When actually, I wouldn't say close to starting. It's already happened. They've shipped out like tons of players. Darren Waller, Rock Ya-Sin, Matt Collins, Derek Carr. Like it's all getting blown up. And I don't think
And they got Garoppolo. You're not doing a rebuild with Garoppolo.
Definitely not.
Matt Collins.
Well, they did draft what's his name, Aiden O'Connell. So that's probably what they want to maybe, and that's a very hard maybe. Try to work with it, and just use like Hoyer or Garoppolo as like
Maybe
placeholders for now, but they're proven stuff.
Who knows what the Raiders are doing? Who really?
I
knows?
don't even know what the Raiders are doing.
Yeah, I don't think the Raiders know what they're doing.
Yeah, they still think skinning the Patriots alive when the Lions tried it already and failed with it is a viable option. So, they're fun. We got a couple moves. The Broncos, they officially have no more players from their last Super Bowl appearance. Brandon McManus has been released from the team, then signed with the Jaguars on a one-year deal, who released their kicker, Riley Patterson. And Riley Patterson then signed with the Lions. So you have a three-way kicker move.
Who do the Broncos have a kicker then?
You know, that's a very good question. I have no idea.
Investigative reporter Mastodon. Google.
Work on that while I read off this.
Google.
Chargers running back Austin Eckler. There's been some speculation he might be leaving the team, but they reached a deal this week to keep him in for at least one more year. With I think the only thing I've seen so far for the deal is $2 million in incentives, and he's going to get that from just like regular playing stuff. So that's. And then a couple minor ones where the Steelers signed ex-Cardinals linebacker Marcus Golden, and Colts signed ex-Giants tight end Caden Smith. That's about it.
But yeah, some little signings, and the moves for the kickers was interesting. Also, RIP to one of the greats, Jim Brown. So, but yeah, some lighter NFL news. Training camps are starting to roll around, and then we'll have what I like to call wackadoodle season, where everyone is just like, oh, this guy showed out at practice. He's going to be an all-star. I'm like, whoa, brakes, pump him a little bit. There was nobody guarding him. That was a wide open pass. Let's, ease on up. So a lot of the NFL news you'll be seeing coming out of these next couple months can be kind of in a way. So we'll see how it goes. A little bit of housekeeping before we get to the USFL. We'll be off the next 2 weeks. I am going to be in Oregon, so I'm not taking my PC with me. So we'll be off for 2 weeks. That will allow us to get pretty far ahead in the USFL standings. So we'll see how that goes. We've not been keeping an crazily close eye to them. So
yeah. In all honesty, the USFL's kind of been mid this year.
Yeah.
Last year.
They don't even have a kicker
slower
right
than
now.
mid.
Wow, Broncos don't even have a kicker, really.
Says, yeah, I'm checking the depth charts. It still says McManus or nothing.
Breaking news, they just signed Pat McAfee.
Get Cody Parkey in there to double doink his way to victory.
Oh, yeah, who's Parkey with right now? I forgot.
Parkey's done.
No one.
No one?
I think if you double doink, they kind of doink you out of a contract and say.
Well, he tried with the Browns the year after the double doink, and you see how that happened.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he won a playoff game with the Browns, so that's something.
I'm really interested to see how well Moody does, the Michigan kicker that was phenomenal in the NCAA, now on the Niners as the second highest overall kicker drafted in the NFL draft of all time. We'll see how that goes.
Oh yeah.
Kickers translate usually very well, so we'll see how it goes.
What
anyway,
was the name of that nerdy guy on the Colts? Oh,
Blankenship.
That's a possibility. I don't think he's been doing much since the Colts released him.
Yeah. If you're by the Colts, it's not a good sign. Anyway, let's go ahead and get into the USFL, then we'll call it wraps. These will be shorter episodes until we get a lot more content to talk about. But we'll start out with Week 6. The first day games on Saturday, May 20th. Memphis Showboats in Memphis handed it to the Maulers, 22-0. We're going to look at some of the stats here. Maulers quarterback James Morgan and Troy Williams both were in the game. Both attempted 19 passes. Morgan went 9 for 19. Troy Williams 13 for 19 for 145. Both of them interceptions. Morgan threw 2. Williams threw 1. Both took a sack. And their quarterback rating was abysmal. Morgan 23.5 and a very nice 69 rating for Williams.
Nice.
For Memphis, Cole Kelly did pretty well. 14 for 24 for 135. 1 touchdown, no picks, and 3 sacks. A rating of 88. For rushing, the Pittsburgh Maulers were all over the place, trying to get everything going. There was no touchdowns scored on the ground, and no one had over 20 yards. And the rushers were Bailey Gaither, Mondre London, Dwayne Gary, James Morgan, Troy Williams, Trey Walker, Garrett Gotchick, and Isaiah Heine. All of them had under 20 yards running. Some of them even as
under
Isaiah
10.
Heine.
Oh wait, I take it back. I was looking
14 and 6. The highest was Bailey Gaynor, 2 attempts, 16 yards. On the flip side, the Showboats won Juwan Washington, 20 attempts, 71 yards, no touchdowns. Cole Kelly, 10 for 21, and Ezra Gray, 1 for 4. For receiving, Pittsburgh, Isaiah Henney, 8 for 103. Bailey Gaither, 5 for 41. Trey Walker, 3 for 21. Matt Skybert, 3 for 49. Mason Sorke, 2 for 20. Dwan Gray, Garrett Gotchick, and Madrid London all getting 10 yards or under. For Memphis,
Maulers had a guy with 103 yards and no
touchdowns. This game ended
22.
Yeah, this game ended 22-0 in favor of the Showboats.
God, they fucking suck.
Daniel Hum, 3 receptions, 15 yards, no touchdowns. Derek Dillon, 3 for 61. Vinny Papale, 3 for 40 and 1 touchdown. Then Ezra Gray, 2 for -2. Then JJ Winston, 1 for 8. CJ O'Grady, 1 for 6. John Mitchell, 1 for 7. And then no other receptions were on that selection. Weird. Memphis really didn't have that many stats. Their leading rusher had 71 yards, and their leading receiver had 61 yards. And they had 1 touchdown in the air, as well as no touchdowns on the ground. So it was a ton of kicks. That really sold it for him. I think if we go down to, is there kicking here? Yeah, kicking. It's Chris Blewett. Look at that. Pittsburgh Maulers, Chris Blewett.
That guy.
He went 0 for 2 on field goals. He blew it.
Yeah. The funny thing too is that the most unfortunate name ever. He played for the command. He played for Washington in a stint to the NFL for a bit, and you could hear. I forget who was on a commentator, but you could just hear it as he's missing the kick, like new kicker for Washington, Chris Blewett, and
he blew it.
There you go.
Yeah. The Memphis Showboats kicker Alex Caseman went 1 for 2 on PATs and 3 for 3 for field goals, both of which were over 40 yards. 2 of them were over 40 yards. One was under 20 to 29. So, yeah, great there. We will hand it to Blewett. The 2 field goal attempts he tried to make were 50 yards plus, so pretty fair distance. But it is what it is. We'll go ahead and move on. Birmingham Stallions win the game, the other Saturday game of Week 6 in the USFL, 27-13 against the Michigan Panthers. God damn it, Cats. Week 6, and then we'll go to Birmingham, Michigan. We finally found a better place to look at stats. It keeps wanting me to disable ad blocker. No. Let's go here. Passing for Birmingham, 19 for 24 for Alex McGough with 133, 2 touchdowns, no picks, 1 sack. Very nice quarterback rating of 117.5. Then for Michigan, Josh Love. There's not a lot of love for him. 20 for 34 for 222, 1 touchdown, no picks.
Real quick, I gotta step away real quick. BRB.
All right. 88.1 rating. Rushing, Birmingham, their leading rusher was CJ Marble, 18 attempts, 100 yards, no touchdowns. Alex McGough, their quarterback, ran 82 yards on 11 attempts and scored a touchdown on the ground. The only rusher was Zwandre White, 3 for 8. For Michigan, they did not have great job running. Their leading rusher was Stevie Scott, 46 yards, 9 attempts, no touchdowns. Reggie Corbin was the next leading rusher for 28 yards and 8 attempts. In the air, Birmingham had a lot of mid-level yardage for their receivers. Alex Hardy, 4 for 37. CJ Marble, 3 for 16 and 1 touchdown. Jake Steinberger, 3 for 21. Austin Walker, 3 for 2. Josh Johnson, 2 for 13. DeAndre White, 2 for 30 and a touchdown. And then Deion Davis and Meyer Mitchell both had one catch for 7 yards. I think Maston's about to fall asleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're almost there. We only got 2 more games after this one. For Michigan, Trey Quinn, 7 receptions, 108 yards. The other receivers didn't do as well. Joe Walker, 4 for 32. Reggie Corbin, 3 for 24. And Cole Houtini, 2 for 18 and 1 touchdown.
I love work travel.
Yeah. Brandon Aubrey, the kicker for the Birmingham Stallions, went 3 for 3 on PATs and 2 for 2 from field goals, 1 from 20 to 29 yards and 1 from over 40. And then Michigan Panthers, 1 for 1 for their PAT from Cole Murphy, 2 for 3 from field goals. He made 1 from over 30 and 1 out of 2 from over 40. So pretty well performance from both sides. However, the Birmingham Stallions had a little bit more of a balanced attack. They had 190 yards rushing between 3 rushers, as well as a decent amount of passing. If you look at the different team stats, we look at total net yards, Birmingham 312 to 295 for Michigan, but as well the rush plays, 32 rush plays for Birmingham. And they had 190 rush yards to 86 for Michigan. So much more balanced attack again for Birmingham. 190 in the air, 190 in the ground, 122 in the air. More balanced attack, better football. Moving on to the other slate of games, New Orleans and Philadelphia. Philadelphia comes out with their win, moving to 500 in the season, 3-3. They won 16-10 against the Breakers. Let's go ahead and look at what. Let me.
How you do it? Why you fix that? Some news just dropped from Sports Illustrated about an hour ago. Antonio Brown is getting genuine interest from the NFL, according to his agent.
God damn it.
Why? He hasn't even played for this AFL, this Arena Football League team he is suiting up for, apparently, but just why?
Okay, I've disabled ad blocker, so hopefully this fucking doesn't. And it's going crazy.
Can we disable AV blocker? Can we enable AV blocker in the NFL again? Please? Yeah. Please.
Fucking. All right. Anyway, New Orleans and Philadelphia. The New Orleans Breakers had their quarterback, Bethel Thompson, 22 for 38, 190, 1 touchdown, 2 picks, 58 quarterback rating. For Philly, 17 for 27 for Case Cookus, 238, 2 interceptions, no touchdowns, an abysmal 60.4 quarterback rating. They still won the game. If you look at rushing, New Orleans only had Wes Hiles running 18 for 74 and no touchdowns for Philadelphia. Matt Corbin, 13 for 62. Case Cookus, 9 for 43, and Dexter Williams, 3 for 19. For receiving, New Orleans, Wes Hills, 5 for 30. Johnny Dixon, 4 for 32. Stage Sturrett, 4 for 24. Also, Johnny Dixon did have a touchdown in the air. Jonathan Adams, 3 for 33. D. Anderson, 2 for 27. Lee Morris, 2 for 13. And Eli Stove, 2 for 31. A very balanced, again, for the yardage, 30, 32, 24, 33, 27, 13, and 31. Spreading the ball around very well. Same for Philadelphia, honestly. Corey Coleman had the bulk of it, 6 for 76. Matt Colburn, 2 for 13. Darren Gray, 2 for 17. DeAndre Overton, 2 for 48. Pro Wells, 2 for 23. Samuel Akeem, 1 for 12. Dexter Williams, 1 for 19. And Trey Wright, 1 for 30. For this separation, the total net yards was heavily in Philadelphia's favor, 362 to 256. Again, balanced attack. Philadelphia, 124 on the ground, 238 in the air, compared to New Orleans, 74 on the ground and 182 in the air. Balanced attacks win the game. I think also penalties, 3 for New Orleans, 1 for Philly. And I'm trying to look at Philadelphia also lost a fumble. And then as far as interceptions go, they were balanced 2 for each. So not a huge day for either defense. However, the balanced attack wins, as we've seen in almost all these USFL games. Then we will go ahead and reach the final USFL game of Week 6. Houston Gamblers versus New Jersey Generals in Memphis, Tennessee. Gamblers came out and won 16-10. Let's go ahead and look at those stats, and then we'll get to our predictions for next week. Generals quarterback Kyle Luita, 17 for 30 for 177, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Quarterback rating of 71. And then Kenji Bahar for the Houston Gamblers went 19 for 29 for 130, no touchdowns, no picks, and 74.5 rating. The Generals' rushing attack was well balanced, but not great. 10 for 38 for Darius Victor, 4 for 24 for Kyle Luata, 4 for 14 for Trey Williams, and 1 for -7 for Warren Newman. For the Gamblers, Mark Thompson, 22 attempts, 82 yards, and the other rushers, Sammy Jones, 2 for 1, and their quarterback Bahar ran once for -2 yards.
Damn.
For receiving, Generals, Warren Newman, 555. Alonzo Moore, 5 for 44 and 1 touchdown. Brandon Bowman, 2 for 14. Juwan Moore, 2 for 30. Woody Brandon, 1 for 12. Darius Victor, 1 for 9. Marcus Green, 1 for 13. Then for the Gamblers, Justin Hall, 6 for 59. Clint Sig, 4 for 34. Mark Thompson, 4 for 8. Rondell Rahman, 2 for 11. Josh Pedersen, 1 for 8. Anthony Ratliff Williams, 1 for 7. And Isaiah Zuber, 1 for 3. Not an impressive game from either team, honestly. The total net yards in this game were 231 for New Jersey and 211 for Houston, and Houston ended up winning. And then for the balance, Houston 81 on the ground, 130 in the air, and then New Jersey 69 on the ground, 162 in the air. Kind of a stinker game, if I'm being honest. Neither team really excelled in any capacity. There wasn't really any defensive highlights. Both teams didn't do well with passing. Quarterback ratings were both in the mid-70s, and only 1 interception was thrown in the game by the New Jersey Generals, Kyle Lueta. So, kind of a stinker game, and Houston sunk less, and they ended up winning. Mamba has come back right in time, and we're going to get to the Week 7 predictions, and we'll wrap this baby up. Macedon, if you mind telling us where we are at as far as our standings in the USFL.
I'm losing.
So, Mamba's still last at 15-10. I'm next at 15-8. Gorlami and Lob is tied for second at 16-8. And then K-Duff is 17-8.
I'm gonna win.
Alrighty. Let's go ahead and get to our predictions. We're just going to give Gorlami the average outcome of this, of our combined records. We'll average it and give him that. We're not going to be here the next 2 weeks, so we'll only predict this next week. We won't predict the one after that, so we won't do too far ahead. So we'll miss a week, but it's okay. Football still goes on without us being there. Just not the best coverage. Anyway, let's start out Birmingham and New Orleans, Saturday, May 27th on Fox at 4 p.m. It's in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm going to take the Stallions. They've looked good recently. New Orleans also coming off a loss. I'll take the Birmingham Stallions by 10.
It's in Birmingham. I'll take those Stallions by 7. That's terrible.
Birmingham by 5.
I'm gonna go Breakers by 3, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Battle of Pennsylvania, Week 7, 9 p.m. Eastern. FS1 in Canton, Ohio. But Philadelphia versus Pittsburgh. Fuck Pittsburgh. Let's go Philly. I'm taking the Philadelphia Stars by 7.
They play in Canton, Ohio?
Yeah, they have four
yeah.
stadiums. They have
Only two.
Memphis, Canton, Birmingham,
Ford Field.
and then Ford
Four.
Field in Detroit.
All right,
So yeah,
give
they have
me
four
Philly.
fields.
Give me the Philly by 14.
Fuck Pittsburgh. Philly by 4.
Fuck Pittsburgh, Philly by 10.
Okay,
There you go.
New Englanders.
Then the next day, Sunday, May 28th, 2:30 p.m. Eastern on USA TV in Memphis, Tennessee. We have Houston going up against the homeboy Memphis Showboats. Memphis has actually started out the season horrible and now seem to be getting it clicking. So I'm honestly going to take them in this one in a close game by 3.
I'm gonna go Houston still by 7.
Houston by 3.
Houston by 10.
Alrighty. And the final game of the weekend, Sunday, May 28th, 5:30 p.m. Eastern on FS1 from Canton, Ohio. You have your Michigan Panthers going up against the New Jersey Generals. Both teams are 2-4. One of these teams is going to end up 2-5. That's going to be the Generals. I'm taking the Panthers in this one by 5.
Yeah, I don't
Wow.
think Generals are that good. So I'm gonna go Panthers by 7 again.
Jersey by 4.
How about Jersey by 7?
Okay.
All right.
There we go. Let me quickly make sure we didn't have any questions on our last video. Then I think we'll be good to.
I don't think we did. Oh yeah, Mamba. Because you missed it. Apparently, Antonio Brown's generating interest from NFL teams again.
Oh, not again.
Yep.
Not again. Let that man rest. He got a Super Bowl with Brady. Just calm down.
In before
Did he get a
Justin
Super
Fields
Bowl?
thrown- Yeah, he won with Brady in
Yes, he
2020.
did.
2020.
Didn't he also win with
Yep.
the Steelers?
They
he
drafted
kicked
him after their last Super Bowl win.
I can't believe he
but
got a Super Bowl. That's boy.
hey Mamba, Justin
Yeah.
Fields throwing to AB.
No Bears fans would want that. No one. No one would want that.
Just send
That's part of the
him.
meme.
Send him to Cleveland. It can't get any worse.
Honestly.
All
We
right.
had OBJ there. Just send Antonio
We got a
Brown.
bunch of tired guys here, and honestly, there's not a ton of stuff circling the NFL, and the USFL has not been something that a lot of us have drawn interest to. So,
XFL was actually fun to watch. I will admit that. XFL was.
yeah, XFL was one to hats off to the Rock for
XFL was
making it
good.
good to watch. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The presentation I think really helped, and also some of the TV deals they got were great. So hopefully both leagues still stay in it. USFL not looking great thus far, at least from our standpoint. So we'll see how it is. But anyway, a little bit of a shorter episode today, but we still hope you enjoyed. Remember to like the video or the podcast wherever you listen to it, and leave us a comment or a question if you want us to answer it and look at it. We'll definitely do our best to get to those. If you have anything you want to ask us, GOAT talk, predictions, whatnot. But as always, for myself, for Macedon, for Mamba, for K-Duff, and for our absent friend Gorlami, we all wish you a very happy start to the summer upcoming. I know a lot of schools let out, so, stay in drugs, don't do school.
That son looks like he's puking in a bucket.
Stay in school, don't do drugs, eat your teeth. You know how it goes.
Yeah. But
Let the man
as
sleep.
always,
Let's go.
thank you for watching the Football Stooges. We hope you enjoyed. Please have fun. Enjoy yourself responsibly. Don't always drink beer, but when you do drink Dos Equis, I don't know. And most importantly, run the damn ball. Have a good night.
Good night.